Hi, I'm Paul Seal from codeshare.co.uk. I'm on part 3 of my tutorial series where I'm showing you how to take a Bootstrap site and put it into Umbraco and make it dynamic, so make it content management within Umbraco CMS. I'm putting these videos on YouTube as well as doing them live, so some people might ask questions. I've found that when people are asking questions whilst I'm working, it is putting me off the flow. So what I'm going to do is there'll be periods when I go to the comments and have a look. I'm going to try and ignore the comments whilst I'm working, so if you feel like I'm ignoring you, I do apologise, but it's just putting me off too much, so I want to be able to do my flow. Then when I'm ready to receive comments or questions, I can look at it then. So please don't take offence if that's at you. So where I've got to so far with this series is I took a static HTML free template called Lesser from free HTML5, I think it's called, the site, and I've put that into Umbraco for the homepage, and I've split it out some of these sections within the homepage, like this part here, or the services, or the blog, and I've shown you how to slice those up and put them into Umbraco. So the next part of this, let me just check I'm filming correctly. So the next part of this is to work out some of the other templates. I've got the home page looking okay. I'm going to work out the other templates. What are their common elements? What do I need to do? How can I make the other templates work with the site layout that I've got? And what different templates do I need to create? So just looking through the site now. It's not a very big site. Should be quite straightforward really to get this all hooked up. So first things first, I'm just going to go through it from left to right really. So I've got now the blog template. So I've already done a blog snippet sort of thing where it takes the top 3 here and puts it onto there with a title and an introduction. Let's see how different that is from that. Yeah, so it's a little bit different. So I might do this for now as a separate one, but even so, I'm going to create myself a new template underneath web-based in Umbraco. So I've logged into Umbraco. Now I'm going to create one called blog, and on there what I'm going to do is take the markup that is in that static page. I'm going to take that markup and I'm going to use that in there. So if I go into the build, and I edit this HTML, I'm going to take the part from underneath the header and above the footer. So all of this, I'm going to copy that out, just close these. I'm going to copy that out and I'm going to put it into this new template that I'm creating in Umbraco. So paste that in there. I'm going to hit save on there, and the other thing I'm going to do is create a document type. I'm going to call that blog. I'm going to give it a logo using the colour blue, and I think I'll just do a chat logo, something like that. So, and I'm going to hit save on that. So I've got a template, so I've got a document type, which means I can create content items using that document type. I'm going to associate the blog template with this document type. So now any content page that I do create that is using this document type, it will automatically have the default template set to be blog, and so at the moment that's got static HTML on there, so they will all look the same if I created multiples. So I've associated the template, so now I just need to go into home, go to permissions, add a child and say blog, and then if I hit save, I'll be able to go into content now, create a blog item underneath content. I'll just call it blog, and then I can save and publish that. And what that will give me is a page underneath home, and if I go into the properties tab and click on that blog link, I will see, hopefully it will look exactly the same as it does on the static template. So as we can see, the pathing of the images isn't working, but everything else looks okay. Let me just check, see if there's any comments at this stage. Hi Collins Badmus, how are you? Hi Luke. Right, so look for the comments, that's fine. So I'm not going to let them distract me today. Anyway, so I've created this blog page and I'm just going to sort out the pathing issues. So if I just explain what's going on here and why they're not working, if I just inspect this, it's looking for images, but it's relative to the blog page here because it's not got a leading slash. So it thinks that the images folder comes after blog. But if I was to go into this and make it have this leading slash, then it will look from the root of the site. So if I do this, go to the new template that I've created, so if I reload this, you'll see that come in. I can include that, and then I'm just going to go to those images and just put the leading slash in front of them. So I'm going to auto hide that. So put the leading slash in, that will fix this problem, and I'll show you how it no longer thinks that it's coming from the blog page. It will actually think it's coming from the root of the site. So I'll save that, and then we can refresh this, and if we look out for this image, when it reloads, if we look out for this image, we'll see the source will have slash image. Well, for a start they've come through, but I just wanted to explain what went on there. So now it's looking for fwa.web.local/images, which is a correct folder. So now that's fixed that. So let's just look compared to the template site that I got it from. Does it look the same? So it looks similar, although it's got this intro. So I'm going to take the intro off the site layout and only have that on the home template. Then it will be the same. So this is the intro for our blog. If I go to the home template, sorry, the web base, and just show you what I'm talking about here. So I've got render intro. So I only want that to happen on the home page and any others that it's for. It's not something that I want to be generic and widespread across the site. So I'm going to go into home. I'm going to keep it on home, but it won't be on blog. So now if I save all and then refresh on this version of the site, the Umbraco version I'm working on. Now if we go to the top, it's just got our blog, created with love by the fine folks at freehtml5.co. So yeah, that's where I got the site from. It's really good actually for template bootstrap sites, so it's worth checking it out. Let's have a look, see if anybody's commented. Smiley face Luke. Anyway, moving back on with this. So we've got our blog sorted now. Yeah, that's it. So blog is okay, so it's looking like it. I'm just going to go through these different pages and get them working with the templates. I'll start to do more of the dynamic stuff either in this video or in the next video. But for now, just want to get all of the pages in the site and working, even though they are static. So if we go back to the template site, now if we've got portfolio, so it's not far off the same of what's happening with blog. So, but it is slightly different, I believe. Yeah, they've got more of a paragraph under here and then a read more, whereas this one doesn't have the read more, and I think this one probably should be doing some sort of pop-up, but it doesn't seem to work from the one that I've got. Maybe that might be something that I need to implement myself, but that's fine because they've done the rest of the site for me anyway. So let's go into the build again, and we'll find that portfolio page, take the HTML from it. So again, I'm going to take what comes after the header and above the footer, because the rest of it is all generated for me from the site layout template that I'm using. And I'm going to need to create in Umbraco a new template underneath web base, actually, so we're at the same level as blog and home. So I'll create this new web template, and I'm going to call this portfolio. So this is another unique template that needs creating. I'm going to paste in my markup, and because of what happened on the previous one with the images, I'm just going to fix that now, and this is using background images instead, but the same rule applies. So I'm just going to put a leading slash to each of these images. So that will solve that problem up front. I'm also going to create the document type for it without a template, and I'm going to call it portfolio. And I'll probably look for one that's something to do with art. Is it palette? I think there's one. Yeah, there we go. So I'll do blue and then palette. So if I also click on templates, and I'll choose the default template portfolio. So I've associated that template with this document type now. I'll then go to home so that it will allow the document type portfolio underneath home, so I can then start creating content items using the portfolio document type underneath home. So I click on the dots, portfolio, and then I'm just going to put that in as the name of it as well. Save and publish that, and it's got the default template. Even though I didn't choose one, by default it assigns it to the portfolio one. And then let's have a look at the page itself. So this time it worked first time because I worked out the pathing of the images straight away. And also we don't have the problem with the intro because it's not on all pages. It is on the home page. So if we go to the root of the site, you will see that on the home page we've got the intro block here. That's it. But it doesn't pass down to all of the pages. So now we've got 3 of the pages set up, albeit not dynamic, but they're just laying the foundations for what we're going to work on later. Let's check if there's any comments at this stage. Oops. So looks like some chat going on. So, hi Collins, I'm converting Bootstrap to Umbraco actually. Right, I'm just going to leave it for that. I'm not going to get too much into a chat so that I don't lose my flow. Right, so next thing I want to go back to the Bootstrap template that I've got, the static site version of it. There we go. Oh, this is me again. I'm going to get distracted again by the comments. I'm going to try not to again. So services. So this services template is slightly different again. So, but the same applies with this one. But I just want to make sure that it's different to all the others, and it looks like it is. So each of these templates are different. So I'm going to go into the build again from the static site that I got. I'm going to edit the content. Sorry, edit the markup of it. I want to get from above the footer and below the header. I want to copy that out. Then I'm going to go into Umbraco again, go into templates, and underneath web base I'm going to create another one called services. Create that, then paste the markup into there, save that. Then I'm going to create a document type without a template called services. I'm going to choose an image, a generic image. I don't know what to, that one will do. I'm going to associate the template services with it. I'm going to hit save, and then I'm going to go back to home, and I'm going to allow home to have services underneath, as I did with the others. So then that will allow me to create services as a content page. And hit save and publish. Now I just need to double check. Well, I'll view the page, but if there are any issues with it, it might be to do with the pathing of the images again. So we can have a look at that in a moment. Doesn't seem to be any images on there that was a problem. So now this is the Umbraco page that I've just created. This is from the free template, so it's looking the same. The only difference between flicking through these is the navigation on this one. So basically it will have some sort of current or active class, and on future videos I'll show you how to do that with the navigation, because I'm going to make the navigation dynamic. So it will know what page you're on, what page in the navigation relates to the page you're on, and then it will apply this active class. So yeah, this one's got the active class, so it will apply that based on that. But that's not where we're at the moment. We're not at that stage, so I'm not going to do that yet. And then we've got an about page. Now this about page I would say is a content page. So instead of calling the document type and template for this about, I'm going to call it content. So let's do the same as we did on the others. Let me just check on any questions again. So it doesn't look like I've got any. Hello to everybody if you're watching. Well, thanks for answering, Luke. So we've got 4 people in the room. Hi everybody. Right, so services I've already done. So this next one is the about, which I'm going to call content. Again, I'm going to take everything from above the footer and below the header. And then I'm going to create the template first, call it content, put it, paste in there. We do have the problem with the pathing of the images, so I am going to fix that while I'm here. And save that, then create the document type without a template because I've already created it separately. I always like to create it separately. I don't want it to auto-generate a template because sometimes it names it differently, not how I wanted to name it. So I prefer the control of doing them separately. But it's up to you which way you want to do it, but this is just the way I've found that I've got most control and consistency with it. So if I do doc, right, there we go. So I've picked a icon for it. So now I want to associate it with the template that I've created, content, and then I'll save that. And then in the home, again, so this is repetition. It's quite good practice for you. If you're following along or doing this yourself, just repeating the same sort of action so you get to understand and probably preempt what I'm going to do next. And that's showing that you're learning about it and you know what to do. So I've allowed the content page underneath home now. So if I go to home and then do content, and then I'll do about as the name of the page. I haven't picked the template, but if I save and publish, because I did a default template, it will automatically assign it to that default template. Then I can click the link to the document and we'll see if this has worked for the about page as well, which it looks to have done. So it looks the same to me. So that's good, that's successful. And then we've got the contact page as well. So let's do that as well while we're at it. So same process, edit this. And we've got a map as well, so I'm going to copy that. So above the footer and below the header. And go into Umbraco, create my template underneath web base. And this is going to be called contact. Paste this in here. Are there any images that I can spot straight away? Can't see any. Let me just have a look on the template. No, no images. And then it pulls in the map pointing to New York. So we will save that. Then I'm going to create the document type without a template. Call it contact. I'm going to choose the message one. Relate this to the contact template. Click on save and then go to home again, into permissions, click on add child, contact, save. So now I've allowed all 5 of these to be created underneath home. And if I go to content and I do click on home, I can now add the contact template, sorry, document type, creating a content item from it, and I'm going to call it contact, and I'm going to save and publish. So it has got a form on it, and by default that form won't work. Well, it shouldn't work. I don't think it's wired up properly. It's just going to be just the input fields and what have you. Later in the series I'll be showing you how to make that work so you can send an email, and I might also do so you can send it via Slack as well. I've not decided whether I'm going to do that or not, but I have got an open source project which lets you do that. So let's have a look at the page, contact. So is it the same? Let's have a look. So it looks the same. Did it bring the map through? No, it didn't bring the map through. Have we got any errors? Alright. So it might be that we don't have something set up for the map. I'm not too concerned about the map working at the moment. I know I can get the map working. I've done some blog posts on my website, codeshare.co.uk, and if you search for map, you can see there's a couple of posts about Google Maps. So I've got styling Google Maps and also styling the pop-up info window of the Google Maps. So you see I've got a nice grey map here, and I've also done it so you can style the Google Map pop-up info window. So we can sort out the maps ourselves later on, so I'm not too worried about that at this stage. So now if we just look back, the pages of the site that we've got the home, the blog, portfolio, services, about and contact. And although it's all static, they're all on this site. Oh, the navigation doesn't work yet, but I suppose that could be one of the first things to sort out. So what time is it? Do I have much time? Let's have a look, see if I've got any comments. Which version? I'm still Arch. Alright, which version? Let's have a look. It's Luke helping out with some of these. Okay, so which version? So the version, I'm using the latest Umbraco version. Which is 7.5.4. And as far as Bootstrap goes, it'll either be 3 or 4. Let's have a look. Bootstrap 3.35, that's what I'm using. Let's have a look at Get Bootstrap and see what version they're on. What version is it? Oh, Bootstrap 4 is coming. So, alright, so it's not far out, it's 3.3.7. So, what was it on there again? 3.3.5, so yeah, it's not far out. And again, it was a free template that I got for the Bootstrap site. Anyway, so what can we do next? So this is for my mother-in-law, by the way. I think I want to try and fix this map actually. I do want it to work. So I'm going to have a look at what's not working, see if we can get it to work. It might be to do with the API key. Oops. Yeah, it could be to do with the API key for the map. So let's just have a look. So on this page, what scripts do I have? Oh, it might be a case that I just need some extra scripts. Because if you remember, I'm using these scripts from the outer template. And it looks like there are some specific scripts on here. So yeah, to get the Google Maps running, I need to add these on there as well. So let's just have a look at the difference between the contact HTML and the homepage HTML. And see what the difference in the scripts are. So if we flip between those, so we've got the jQuery main, got the easing, and they're on both. Got the Bootstrap on both. We have Waypoint on both. It is just these two Google Map ones here. So I'm going to add those scripts. Now what I probably should do at this stage as well, so that I can have scripts that are only relevant to certain templates, I like to use the sections so that I can have a section for ScriptsBottom, and that's what I'm going to do on this. So I need to add system.web.optimization, and I can get it from a NuGet package. So if I just search for NuGet system.web.optimization, here we go. This will tell me what the NuGet command I need to enter is. So I can just copy this, go into my project, go to Package Manager Console, can either do it there and then when it loads up paste it in there like that, or I can go to Tools, NuGet Package Manager and manage packages for this solution. Then I can search for the optimization or the name of it. I think if I just do that, I can search for it there. Oh, and I've already got it filtered by installed, so I don't want it on installed, I want it on browse. Here we go, Microsoft ASP.NET Web Optimization. That's the one that I need, but as I say, I prefer to do it on the Package Manager Console, so I'm just going to hit enter on Package Manager Console. That's going to get it for me, work out the versions, make sure that the dependencies are all okay. It'll get it from nuget.org for me, and then it will install it onto my application so I can use it. And it's the default project is Fiona Whitfield Art, which is the web project, this one here. I've only got one project in this solution. While we wait for that, let's just have a look at the output. So it's installed that correctly, so that's good. So what it means is that I'm able to reference it and then be able to do things like the sections, and also later down the line I'll be doing minification and bundling. And if you want to do that sooner, you can go to my website codeshare.co.uk. I've got posts about doing all that. Oh, here we go, just having a bit of a conversation. Thanks, Luke. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, thanks a lot, Luke, for helping. I'll just send this through. Right, so where was I? We need to just check now then. I believe we've got, with the references, we've got system web optimization reference now. So if I do a rebuild of the solution, I'll then be able to reference this DLL at the top of my master template, so I can then start using some of the sections. So if I do using system.web.optimization, and then I'm going to set up some of these. So what I'll do is a @RenderSection. I'm going to give it a name, so this will be what would this be? I suppose this will be head. Yeah, I'll just call it head. And I always put faults in on here for required, because I don't really enforce any of these sections. Then further down, oh, just under here, I'm going to do one for ScriptsTop. So RenderSection ScriptsTop. And then I'm going to say faults on that. I'm not going to enforce that. I'm just going to copy that, and I'm going to do one at the bottom as well. RenderSection ScriptsBottom. Now, I don't know if you noticed when we were looking at the differences between the two, but I noticed myself that the main JS stays at the bottom. So it may need to run something that came before it. So what I'm inclined to do, because I'm going to be injecting some of these scripts into the page from other templates, I'm going to put this to be ahead of the main JS. Oops. Right, so now when I call this, when I want to run, I'll show you what I'm going to do. Basically, I'm going to go to the contact template. I'll show you with me using it and with me not using it, and then you'll see the benefit of me using it. So if I go to contact page, I need to refresh this. This will add a load of views that I created that are not included yet, but this is the one we want, contact. So at the moment, all the contact template is I want to inherit from here, and then this is my markup. And if I was to just add this script tags that were at the bottom of here on the contact template, if I was to just paste them in like this, what you find, oops, is that they don't get pasted in at the bottom of the page, they get pasted in like higher up. So you might find that you'll be calling these scripts before jQuery is defined or other things like that, so you'll get problems with it. So you need to have them at the bottom. So I'm just going to save it like this now anyway, and it may work, but it's not best practice to have it halfway up the page and then have more markup after it. It's better to have the scripts at the bottom if you're going to do it that way. Have it all organised. So let's have a look, see if the map's fixed. So it's not fixed. Let's see if we've got any errors. So yeah, we've got some errors about locating the file. So that might be an issue with the pathing. I think I've actually put it all into a scripts folder rather than the JS folder. So let's just have a look at that. Yeah, I don't have a JS folder. So I can hopefully sort this out by just, oh, also it's looking in contact.js because it's got the relative pathing because it hasn't got a leading slash. So I'll fix that, and I'll also change it to be scripts and then save it, and then if we go back into it and refresh, it should be a bit better. So now we just don't have the image for the location pin. We've got a similar problem with the pathing of that. So that, I'm not sure where that comes from. It might be from within the Google Maps script. So let's have a look at that. Google Map. And then look at the pathing of the image again. we just need to put the leading slash on the icon. Refresh this page, and we've got the map working. So I know I said I wasn't going to fix it. That was just me being lazy, because I'm a developer, we're all lazy. So that's fixed it, and let me just explain to you the benefit, well, just show you where the script came out and where I want it to come out, and how I can use the sections to make it come out in the right place. So it comes out here, even though we put it at the bottom of the template, the contact template. There's all this that comes after that from the outer template, the site layout, you know, the webmaster. So what we can do to get this to come out at the bottom in the right place where we want it is use this section. So on the web base, I created a section called ScriptsBottom. So now if I want to put these that are on the contact template into that section, I just wrap it with @section, then the section name, and then some open and close curly braces, and then save that. Now if I refresh the page, we should see that it's fixed it. I'll just close some of these tabs. So the page should still work the same, which it does, but let's just have a look at the scripts. And we'll find that it has injected these scripts in the right place. So I'm happy with that. So I think that's probably a good point to end it on. So if I've just looked at the source of that. So hopefully that's helped explain that point. It's shown you how I can create document types and templates to create my pages in Umbraco. And like we're not done now. We want to make it content managed. So this is just laying out some structure, but we want to make it dynamic. But at least we've got the foundations for it, and we can start to, in the next videos, make it dynamic. So thanks for watching. If you're watching live, thanks very much for staying around and watching. If you're watching on YouTube and you enjoyed the video, please click like and subscribe. I'm just going to check if there's any more comments or anything like that. So I've not got any more comments, so thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you again soon, and I'll put this on YouTube soon. Thanks.